Hello everyone. In our today's session, we are going to complete the topic which we have started before 3 videos, that is video number 4, right? So in our today's session we are going to complete the topic creating an optimal information architecture. As I have told you in my previous video also, that when it is asked in the 5 mark questions in the exam, at that time you can sort out the given points and you can write accordingly, but I want to explain in detail so that you can easily understand the concept. So I have taken the topic in detail, so be careful regarding such. But before starting our today's session, let us recall our previous session as we always did, right? So let us start with the previous session. In our previous session, we have seen the creating broad to narrow topical relevance. In this, I have given you the demonstration regarding how to give the broad and narrow category and how to represent your structure using broad to narrow category. It is totally based on the requirement of customer. So naturally this pattern of relevance based scoring, which extends from single relationship between documents to the entire category structure of a website, and the site creators can best take advantage of this by building hierarchies that flow from broad encompassing subject matter down to more detailed and specific content. That means when you are going to click on a particular arrow, at that time it will give you the detailed categorical list regarding particular topic or content. Now we have learned two different words, that is taxonomy and ontology. So taxonomy is what, when you want to represent your content in the two-dimensional hierarchical model which is related with the architecture of your website, at that time that concept is known as taxonomy. Similarly, ontology is such, when you want to read the mind of customers or human beings, that topic is known as ontology, and which is more complex than taxonomy naturally. Why? Because in ontology you need to think the way human thinks, right? So that is the difficult task to find out such kind of concept. And one of the effective technique you can use with the ontology is card sorting. Next is called flat versus deep file architecture. In this, there are two types of architecture through which you can create your website. Number one, flat file architecture. Number two, deep file architecture. Now see, there is a limitation of deep file architecture. It gives you the structure in which there are lots of pages which are interconnected with each other, which gives or represents your website more complex comparative with the flat file architecture. Because in the flat file architecture, by performing few clicks, you are easily able to reach on the desired location or reach on the desired pages. So that is the difference between deep file architecture and flat file architecture. And this particular topic, that is deep file architecture and flat file architecture, may be asked in the 5 mark questions. So prepare this concept in detail, right? You don't cut out any points from this particular topic. So when you want to provide or develop your site as a user friendly as well as search friendly, which can be easily found, your pages can be easily found not only by the crawler but also by the user, in those cases you can use the concept of flat file architecture. But you are having still the concept of deep file architecture, in which the pages are connected complexly with each other, and when you want to reach on a particular page, at that time you need to move and you need to go through a long path to reach on a particular content page. You can understand this by the figure, that suppose I want to reach on this particular page. In those cases I need to perform 5 different clicks to reach on the given particular content page. Similarly, if you are working with a flat file architecture and you want to refer bottom or last categorical pages, in such cases you just need to perform few clicks, and by performing few clicks you can reach at the last or bottom level of that particular website. So it is the beneficial part, or we can say beneficial point of flat file site architecture. By performing very few clicks you are able to reach on a particular pages. Now avoid pagination. See, we are discussing the topics which are related with the creating an optimal information architecture. Avoiding pagination is such. Before discussing the given point, I would like to share some slides which is related with the figure of pagination structure. You are able to see that when there is, if your site contains many number of pages, at that time you can use the concept of pagination, but there are more disadvantages to use pagination concept in the website. We know that nowadays there are lots of people who are going to search for a particular product from the internet, right? So when it is very much difficult to show all the product in a single page, so for such concept you can use the concept of pagination. But as I have told you that there are several limitations of pagination, right? So see, this figure represents how the pagination can be possible. One website may contain 99 web pages which is designed within the website. So this represents the current page on which you are working or in which you are active, and over here they have listed the list of pages, and by clicking on a particular number you are easily able to move on the content of that particular pages. But there are a number of limitations of pagination. Number one, you can use pagination where you do not have any topical relevance. That means the keyword is different and your content is different. At that time you can use concept of pagination. Similarly, if your page contains duplicate content or the content which other website contains, that content is known as duplicate content. So if your page contains duplicate content, or you have designed your content as a poor quality content, that means the quality of your content or presentation of your content is not that much good, through which the customer is going to attracted, at that time you can use the concept of pagination. And last is called generally pagination can be applied when you want to trap the spider. How the spider is trapped? Because there are thousands of links which are connected with the pages, right? And all the pages you have designed is called low quality of pages. And we know that if low quality of pages has been given in the website, at that time which cannot be favorable by the spider, right? So once your pagination concept is applied in the website, at that time it becomes trap for the spider. And spider are going, as we know that spider is going to catch the pages from the first, by looking at the first page only, right? So this pagination concept is based on the page hidden, right? When you want to hide your pages from the say for example from the spider or any customer, at that time you can use concept of pagination, because we don't know that what are the contents you have placed inside the those number of pages. So when you want to create a sequence of pages to break up long list of elements or any long articles, generally this concept is used by the e-commerce website, which contains a list of items or list of products which displays within a pages, or which is difficult to display on a single page. At that time you can use the concept of pagination. And the last point is, which we were discussed, is search engine friendly site navigation. That means create that kind of site or provide that kind of navigation which can be easy to find out pages which are connected with the website. So navigation structure would be simple, or it is that kind of that user can easily navigate within the website. So for that you need to apply the thought or efforts at a very beginning of your website when you want to plan to develop the website. So that is called search friendly site navigation. Now let us start with our today's session. In today's session, as I have told you, we are going to complete the topic creating an optimal information architecture. Now basics of search engine friendliness. In our previous video we have completed with the search engine friendly navigation. So now what are the basic things which you need to learn to create search engine friendliness? So these all are the points which are related with the friendliness of any search engine. These all are the basics which you need to understand while you are going to develop your website. So what is search engine friendliness? Sometimes you are going to develop your website, at that time at a point of view by the search engine you need to understand the requirement of user. Based on the requirement of user, you need to develop your website in such a way that can be easily accessible by the spider. And once your pages are easily accessible by the spider, at that time it can be easily indexed by the spider, and that pages are displayed in front of the list, right? So you will get your site on the top of the list. Now see, we know that simple HTML form website can be there on the top of the list. So for that you need to follow whatever the rules and regulations which are specified by the organization. Say for example, for the guideline of HTML you just need to follow the regulations and rules which has been given by the W3C school, that is World Wide Web Consortium, right? That is the full form of W3C. So they have given the guidelines on what way or what are the tags you can use and what are the rules and regulations which you need to follow while you are working with a HTML, right? So based on the W3C's guideline, if you follow the rules, that is good, but majority of website which has been developed today do not follow any guideline which has been specified by the W3C school, right? And they are going to overlook this type of regulations and they violate the rules which has been given by the W3C. And in that cases, that violation occurs for the spider also, because spider cannot parse those kind of codes. So be careful while you are going to develop your website. At that time you need to follow whatever the guidelines which has been given by the W3C. That guideline you need to follow. Now let us read out the points. The search engine spider need to be able to read and interpret your website code to properly and index the content on your web pages. Do not confuse this with the rules of organization. See, W3C is one kind of organization which has their own rules, right? So when you are going to work with the HTML site, at that time, suppose you are going to follow such kind of rules which has been listed or given by the W3C, it is good, right? So be careful while you are working with a simple HTML construction. Although following the W3C guideline can be a good idea, the great majority of sites do not follow this guideline. So search engines generally overlook these violations of these rules if their spiders cannot parse the code. Now there are some elements which are related within the website and which becomes problematic for the spider. So when you are working with a simple HTML file, that is not a problem for the spider, but this point we have already discussed in our previous video also, that there are certain elements of your website or you have placed inside your website which may be which may create problem for your website or for your for the spider as well as for the search engine. So first element which may be a which may create problem for the spider is called search and web forms. We have discussed this point as a login form in our previous video, right? So all the website which provides a build search form for searching content on the website. See, many of today's website gives you the facility of searching the content on the website, right? So when you are going to search for a specific content within the website, it may be the problem for the spider. Why? Because that content is hidden from the spider. So that cannot be accessible by the spider, or we can say whatever the content you have provided using the search box within the website, it cannot be indexed by the spider. So search form is naturally a good tool for the website itself, right? But which may create confusion between the search engine as well as for the spider itself. For that you need to provide website linking structure, so that from the linking structure only spider can get that these all are the pages you have developed within the website and they need to crawl within the website. But certain forms are there which until you have not submitted that kind of form, you will not get the access of other pages which has been putted within that particular form. So how many types of forms are there? See, suppose you want to provide feedback form, right? So that form is known as search and web forms. Similarly, you have created login form. So without login, you are not able to move forward, right? So that is again the problematic for the spider. So that kind of pages are not going to be indexed. So as a website developer, you need to provide a facility like free access for the first time to get the data behind this type of forms, because when any person is going to access your website for the first time, at that time they did not require to register their names with the website. So in those cases, crawler can easily crawl the web pages which you have designed or putted inside the website. So let us read out the points which are related with the search and web forms. If you people do not understand the given points at that time, just give the example of login form, because login form is such kind of form, unless and until you are not giving username and password, you are not able to move forward, or you are not able to access whatever the pages you have developed within the website. So in this particular topic you can write the example of login form, but let us discuss the points over here. All the website provide a build search form for searching the content on the website. These search forms can prove helpful in indexing and accessing the site of the content. Search form is a good tool for searching the content on the website. Remember one thing, that the whatever the search box we are using in the Google, that is different. Over here we are talking about the search box which is provided within the website, right? And you are searching for the content which is available on the website. So this search box is specifically designed for the website only. So but search engine get confused with this tool. Most of the search engine use the website link structure to crawl through the web pages or websites. Search engines cannot submit the form or search for a given content using search tools. So those content or web pages which not only accessible through the search form are not indexed by the search engine. As I have told you, that search engine itself cannot submit such kind of form, or such search engine cannot apply some keyword in the search toolbox. So at that time whatever the pages you have placed within that cannot be indexed by the search engine. There are many other forms such as feedback form, login form and many other which are not indexed by the search engine. Website developer can provide the facility like free access for the first time to get the data behind this type of form. So if you want to provide such kind of form in which you are providing free access for the first time as a developer, at that time that pages can be easily crawled by the crawler, and once the pages are crawled, can be easily indexed by the crawler. So it will be beneficial for both for website developer as well as for the users also. The second is Java images, audios and videos. As lots of time we have discussed this point in our previous video, that crawler cannot identify the content like images or audio clips or video clips. So that is the limitation of crawler only. So you need to avoid such kind of things used inside the content pages, because crawler can only identify the attribute, alter attributes, right? Because it can be used with the images or videos files. So this type of attribute, through the this kind of attribute, crawler can only understand that what would be there inside this particular file, but they cannot compare like normal human being from the text, that text is related with some keyword and image is related with some other keyword. So that is the limitation of crawler only. So stop avoiding this kind of content inside the website. Search engine cannot crawl pages having Java content, images, audio and video files. These files are identified by tags of the files. For example, image and video files can be identified with the alter attribute. This attribute provides some information related to the files. Search engine have started implementing a new feature of audio searching. In the audio, you are able to give a text which can be used for getting into the search result. Nowadays, each and every search engine gives you the facility from the audio text, right? When you are clicking on audio button, at that time whatever the keyword you want to search, that you need to record it, and as a text it will come into the search box, and from the text crawler is going to crawl the pages on the internet. Next is called Ajax and JavaScripts. Again, whatever the code which has been written using JavaScript or any file which is created within the Ajax or using the Ajax cannot be accessible by the crawler, because whatever the Ajax file you have created, that can be used with the help of delimiter has operator, right? So but most of the search engine cannot be identified this kind of sorry, this kind of delimiter. So stop avoid using ajax in the website, so that your file can be easily crawled by the crawler. Similarly, whatever the code you have used using JavaScript language, because JavaScript is dynamic in nature, right? So operations which has been performed using JavaScript is restricted by the search engine. But nowadays most of the search engine works to identify such kind of functions which has been performed using JavaScript. So nowadays that is the advantage for the JavaScript users. Why? Because nowadays most of the search engines start focusing on the functions which are available on the JavaScript, but still there is a restriction on the operations of JavaScript because it is dynamic in the nature. So stop avoid using JavaScript as well as Ajax in the website. Let us read out the points. Ajax provides a way of accessing the database of website without refreshing the page. Also, the URL of the page is not changed using Ajax. Search engine may not be aware with the content which is retrieved using Ajax. So, they cannot read Ajax call. So, Ajax call can be identified using has delimiter function, and this function allows you to link directly to the different page of website within the applications. And also all the search engines still do not recognize this symbol as in HTML. This symbol refers bookmarking. Same is the case with the JavaScript. As we know that JavaScript are dynamic in nature, operations of search engine are restricted to the JavaScript, and search engine cannot identify the operations implementing using JavaScript. Most of the search engine are now identified some of the functions of JavaScript. So this is the good thing about JavaScript, that nowadays search engine focuses on the functions which are available on the JavaScript. So these three are the points which are related with the problematic elements for the spider. First is called search and web forms. Second is called Java, images, audios and videos, and third is called Ajax and JavaScript. Now see, there is a guideline using which you are easily able to navigate, or you are able to create search engine friendliness website, right? Uh, that is, implement a text link based on the navigation structure. That means you need to create the structured way of your website through which user can easily navigate within the website. Next is called be aware of spider traps. As we have discussed that when you are going to use the concept of pagination, in such cases spider is going to trap inside the pagination concept, right? So the connection between the search engine and spider gets lost because of infinite loops or links within the website. So you need to be aware of spider traps, and you need to avoid using pagination concept within the website. Next is called watch out the session IDs and cookies. Suppose your website contains a number of cookies, as well as you have created different kinds of sessions. At that time you need to be aware regarding the session IDs and cookies, because when your pages are going to redirect, at that time sometimes it may be possible that session ID is going to null. In those cases spider are unable to reach on the certain kinds of pages, right? So you need to constantly watch out for the session IDs and cookies. And last is called be mindful of server hosting and IP issues. Sometimes it may be possible that there is a problem in the internet protocol address or any hosting or server. So when there is a issue in the server, which rarely cause search engine ranking problems, but when they do, which creates disaster for the user as well as for the search engine. So this is a guideline to easily navigate within the website. So while you are going to use any website or while you are going to develop any website, at that time these all are the points which you need to understand or which you need to consider. So this is all about our today's session. Over here we have completed creating an optimal informational architecture. Our last 4 video is based on the same topic, video number 4, 5, 6 and 7, which is based on the creating an optimal information architecture. So this is all about our today's session. Thank you everyone.